Take my love, take my land, take me where I cannot stand. I don't care, I'm still free. You can't take the sky from me.
So yeah, in the early 90s, Blizzard was the undisputed king of the RTS game. Okay, besides Command & Conquer, but I never played any of those, so I can't comment. However, at E3 1996, the company was overwhelmingly mocked for their new title, StarCraft. And it's not entirely hard to see why. We went from games that looked like this to games that looked like, well, this. Some people called it just Purple Warcraft. Most people thought it was just a blatant reskin of their popular Warcraft games. But thankfully, some Blizzard folks put their collective tools together and were able to redesign the game pretty much from scratch to look like, well, this. Something that felt completely different from the games that came before, and whose layout would later go on to be used for Warcraft 3. That should be enough backstory for the retrospective, though I do encourage you to do your own research. There's a funny story about how Disney nearly shut down StarCraft over Toy Story. Yeah, don't mess with Mickey Mouse. So here's our backstory for why humans are in the current setting. A couple hundred years ago, humanity decided to conquer the stars, so loaded up prison ships full of convicts and shot them off towards a section of space called the Kaprulu sector. They ended up crash landing on a number of planets other than the ones they were aimed for, but they made the best of it and ended up becoming one of the dominant superpowers in that section of the galaxy. Which is really kind of awesome when you consider the fact that originally the Terrans were styled as, rednecks in space. Unfortunately, after they got established, it turned out that there was alien life in that portion of the galaxy, and the few remaining Terrans banded together to try and fend them off, leading to the Dominion.
According to our intelligence reports, the Dominion has withdrawn completely from Klingon, Federation, and Romulan space.
No, not that Dominion, but nice try. The Dominion is a tyrannical government ruled over by General Mengsk, who wishes to dominate all portions of human life. I mean, his logo is a whip. What else do you want? He has been opposed in the past by James Raynor and his freedom fighters, but of late they've gone quiet. We open on the eponymous James Raynor sitting in a bar contemplating about all of his past decisions. And if the graphic quality is a little low, that's partially because my computer is not an optimized gaming PC, so yeah, this is the best I could do shooting in-game footage. Sorry. As James sits there drinking away his sorrows, we're listening to a broadcast of the Dominion's dictator Mengsk as he makes some generic evil villain speech about bringing order and peace to the Dominion. Finally growing sick and tired of the broadcast, Jimmy shoots out the TV screen with Mengsk's face still on it, and instead decides to aim to misbehave. Alright, Adjutant, how are we gonna do this?
The best way to go about inciting a riot is to go blow some things up, like the local broadcast station.
I don't know, Adjutant. Wouldn't that make us a terrorist group?
No. We are freedom fighters, completely different from terrorists.
Well, if you say so. Give it to 'em, boys! Yeehaw! And the Dominion itself has a pretty interesting policy towards unemployment. If you don't have a job, we'll force you into forced labor camps. And if you decide you don't want to, we'll shoot you, and then you're not a statistic. Well, not that kind of statistic. Alright, boys, let's have ourselves a good old-fashioned revolution. However, there seems to be some trouble waiting for Jimmy as he goes back to the bar as an armored figure enters the building. It looks as if this is going to erupt into a firefight, but it's revealed that this is Tychus, one of Raynor's old allies, and less a freedom fighter and more someone with alternative ethical standards.
Hiya, Jimmy. How's it going?
Well, I started a revolution today, so that's something.
Funny you should mention that. I've got a job offer for you. working for a group called the Mobius Foundation.
That's a weird name. What do they want?
Aw, hell, not much. Just digging up some ancient alien artifacts and delivering them to them for a minor fee.
Well, that'd be a good way to go about funding my little operation now, wouldn't it?
So, we have a deal?
That would do. So, after exploring the interactive mission hub, which is actually kind of cool and a new feature for the series, we get to work.
So, Jimmy, remember when I said you were gonna go get those artifacts? Well, I forgot to mention the Dominion's already trying to dig up one of them, and we're gonna have to liberate it from them if we're gonna deliver it to the Foundation.
Thanks, Takis. Thanks. Me and my boys will help you liberate this artifact from the Dominion, but try not to pull another fast one on me, otherwise I will have to shoot you in the head.
Hell, Jimmy, that worked out pretty well. We should team up more often. Now, let's watch some TV of our thrilling heroics.
In the news today, the series protagonist has experienced 2 triumphs, neither of which will be used for emotional pathos later. Back to you, Donnie. Thanks, Kate.
Hey, Jimmy, isn't that one of them Zerg menace that nearly destroyed all life in this section of the galaxy? Isn't it a little weird we treat them like buck hunting?
Yeah.
You ever worry about them coming back to finish the job?
Nope.
Alert! Detecting multiple Zerg biosigns all across the planet, moving towards this location. Evacuation is advised.
Takis, do me a favor, and don't talk anymore. Come on, you apes. We gotta hold out until we can get evacuated. You wanna live forever? Actually, Sergeant, that sounds kinda nice. Well, fine. Looks like the spaceship's here anyway. Better get to the evacuation point. Oh, thank goodness. Ah! I tried to tell those apes they weren't gonna live forever. Oh well. So yeah, it turns out somewhere in those 10 years of silence, Jimmy stole a spaceship. That's kind of awesome. It's also here we meet his second in command, named Matthew, who, with the help of his analog watch, makes a hyperspace jump to safety, where it turns out that this is a threat that's besieging all sections of the Kapulu sector. Outlying human colonies are getting slaughtered en masse. Also of some significance, the Queen of Blades, the mysterious leader of the swarm, has returned from hiding and seems to be leading the swarm personally. In the news today, the series protagonist has experienced 2 triumphs, neither of which will be used for emotional pathos later. Used for emotional pathos later. This doesn't look good, sir. Yeah, Matt, it's been that kind of day. So a couple hours later, James gets a situation report from Matthew. Apparently they're lower on supplies than they would like to be, and they don't have nearly the kind of heavy armor and troops they're going to need if they want to fight both the Dominion and the Zerg. But he encourages Raynor to go check out the engineering department, which is the personal domain of James Raynor's old-time friend and cyborg assistant, Swan. Why do I get the impression if Swan played World of Warcraft, he would be a dwarf main? So yeah, this is one of multiple locations that we can visit around the ship, as well as the home of the engineering upgrade screen, where we can choose specialty upgrades for each of our troops by paying credits, which is a kind of nice way to customize the army to your play style in more ways than you normally get to during a campaign. They also do a pretty good job of showing you with video just what the upgrades eventually will let you do before you buy them.
Incoming transmission.
Mayday! Mayday! My name is Dr. Hansen. Is there anyone who can help? We can hear you. What's the problem, ma'am? Oh, thank goodness. Because somebody had to incite emotional pathos in the main character, we're now under attack by the Zerg and they're attempting to evacuate. But we're just simple farmers and scientists. We have no way to help. Please, can you send anyone? Of course. We'll be there as soon as we can. Thank you so much. Unfortunately, we don't have any supplies to pay you with, but we appreciate the help nevertheless.
Aw, hell, Jimmy, I don't want to tell you how to do your job, but it seems to me fighting the Zerg for no pay isn't a very good idea. After all, nothing plus nothing times nothing divided by nothing equals about nothing.
Takis, for some reason my trigger finger's feeling mighty itchy. You wouldn't happen to know why that might be, would you?
Whatever you say, Jimmy, just remember, this is gonna come back to bite you in the ass later.
Thank you, Raynor. Thanks to you, me and my people can escape this planet. Well, when we get back to the ship, we end up acquiring a new member of our party, Dr. Hansen, the chief scientist who we helped rescue from the planet down below. She offers her medical expertise to help with the war effort. Meanwhile, in the ship's cantina, we end up meeting the shady black marketeer who has soldiers that offer us other forms of expertise for the war effort, like shooting things. Yeah, so we have an engineering bay, a bridge, and the cantina, where we can watch news broadcasts of our heroic endeavors. But it's also here we can find one of the greatest things in the entire game. Lost Viking! Which is not only a beautiful reference to a forgotten gem of Blizzard's gaming catalog, but it is also a fully actualized Galaga-style arcade game in an already $60 game. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm sure this probably took some coders like half an hour to build, but it is still so cool that they just gave you something like this for free, instead of making it expensive DLC or hidden behind a loot box. I miss old Blizzard. Something else that's really nice is you can choose different missions in any order you want, which really helps with replayability. I'm going with the snarkiest version I can come up with for this particular playthrough of the game. Alright, Doc, why exactly did you call me up here? Well, you promised not to be mad, right? Doc, after the week I've had, all I can promise to do is try. Well, when you helped me evacuate my people, it turned out some of them were infected with the virus, and now they're turning into horrible Zerg hybrids. Doc? You said you were gonna promise to try not to get angry. Try being the operative word. Is there any good news you can tell me about these things? Well, unfortunately they are a bit of a ravening horde, but it turns out the solar radiation from the planet will burn them up alive if they don't burrow underground during daytime. So that gives us a little bit of an advantage. Great, so they're both zombies and vampires. I hate you, Tychus.
Well, hell, Jimmy, it's not my fault I'm right. And hey, at least we get some nasty, scary road vehicles to burn them alive with. That's something, right? Starting to see the merits of this working for free nonsense that you keep talking about.
It worries me when he starts making sense. Don't worry, Jim. We got as many uninfected out as possible. Hopefully the next planet we settle on won't be a horrible, horrible disaster just waiting to happen. I hope. When we return to the ship, we can meet our other resident scientist, Dr. Stegman, who is willing to help us and runs our laboratory research. Here we can customize our units even more by completing bonus objectives and unlocking research along a Protoss tree and a Zerg tree.
Hey, Jimmy, you want to come get more of them artifacts so we can actually make some money again?
Tychus, at this point, sure, why not? You telling me we gotta kill some Protoss to get our hands on it?
Well, there are some Zerg there too, but I don't think that should be much of a problem.
Tychus, just stop talking. But yeah, maybe a little bit of a backstory might be helpful. The Protoss are a technologically advanced civilization that have been at war with the Zerg for forever. They're kind of ambivalent towards humans, but generally see them as lower life forms, especially when we're coming in to steal their stuff. Well, Tychus, that looks like it went pretty easy. Wait, what's going on? Oh, god damn it, why do I even open my mouth some days? But yeah, we're able to battle our way past the Protoss and get the second artifact along this crazy quest line. It's here we see that the Queen of Blades, also known as Kerrigan, and Raynor are on a first-name basis with each other. Huh, I wonder why that could be. Back on the ship, Tychus is watching videotape taken from the helmets of some of the Terran forces that have been fighting Kerrigan, and seems oddly obsessed with her. Tychus, what are you doing?
Oh, hell, I'm not, this isn't what it looks like.
Good, because it looks like you might have some kind of personal vendetta against her.
Nah, I never try and mix business with pleasure. It's really hard to get the stains out of the linoleum.
Whatever you say, Tychus, I'm not getting paid enough for this.
Nope, never mix business with pleasure. That never ends well. Bang.
Hey, Tychus, I hear you were playing around with the comms last night.
Yeah, but I wasn't doing anything weird, I promise.
Well, mind telling me what you were doing then?
I was looking at a job opportunity for us.
Really? Tell me about it.
Um,
A few hours later. So, you're supposed to be a friend of Takis. You got a job for us? What's up?
Well, hello, Mr. Rayner. My name is not important. Down on the planet are very rare crystals that I'm hoping you can help me mine. However, due to volcanic instability, it's not terribly safe.
Sir, there are also some Zerg down there. I don't think it's safe. We should find a different job. Yeah, but after the week I've had, Matthew, we might as well literally go to hell. Now, this particular level isn't anything amazing, but it is kind of fun since you have to work with the ever-present volcanic activity to try and not melt all of your units in lava. Also being a good showcase for the maneuverability of Reapers. Just simple jump infantry, but still a lot of fun. Sir, I know we're not supposed to make your day worse, but there's something you should know. Go ahead, Matt. Well, it turns out that this guy who hired us, his name is Tosh. He escaped from an old game that was designed previously, and he's not a fan of the Dominion. I don't trust him, but he's willing to work with us. Well, that sounds like the first bit of good news we got in a while. We could use some allies like him.
Well, Mr. Rayner, that went well. I have a new job for you, though. Deep on this jungle planet are geysers of a gas called terrazine. Terribly addictive. It's being controlled by Protoss, but I think we can pick off just enough of them to steal it without being noticed.
Look, I get you're paying me well for all this and all, but why is it you keep sending me on the really dangerous missions?
Oh, come on, man. Do you think I'm going to do something sinister with all of these things?
Yes, I do.
Don't worry. It's perfectly safe.
Alright, sir. I'm gonna go put a thing on this geyser here and start collecting gas. Sir, I don't mean to be an alarmist, but is it supposed to do that?
James Rayner, you and your men have desecrated our temples. We will now hunt you to the ends of the universe in an attempt to find justice.
We just can't seem to stop making friends, can we, sir? Sir, I just got a report that Tosh is a sociopath and is likely to betray us at any moment.
Not a sociopath? I'm perfectly harmless. You can trust me, right?
You know, I can use the money, but this is starting to get weird even by my standards. I'm gonna go do some work for the Mobius Corporation now.
glad to hear it, Jimmy. Looks like they found the next artifact, except it's hidden inside an ancient temple. Too hard to get into normally, so we're gonna have to laser our way through with a great big drill. Unfortunately, the drilling team went silent, so we gotta go find out what happened to them and start the drill back up. But don't worry, I'm sure it's perfectly safe.
Takis, how many times do I have to say it? But please, just stop talking! Oh god, after the week I've had, I'm gonna need a drink. Try and start a revolution, that all goes to hell. Try and rescue some refugees, that doesn't turn out well. Just trying to make an honest buck. Now I can't even keep the lights on. Anything else go wrong?
I have come for you, James Rayner.
Wait, Zerathul? We're friends. Why are you here? Oh god, please tell me it's not because you've got more bad news to ruin my day.
I have come to tell you, if you do not get back together with your ex-girlfriend, the universe will end in fire and death.
You don't think we tried to work that out already? Seriously, you come in here...
Be quiet. Take this. It's a warning of what is to come and a way to pad out the game's runtime. Now I must go off and be mysterious.
Seriously, I hate it when he does that. I need to take a break.